Hey everybody, this is Rydo and we're back to Dicey Dungeons. So we actually were able to wrap up and start over at a specific right from the beginning here. What I want to experiment with here is I could certainly just like do other episodes with other characters that have beaten the first episode, but I would prefer to just beat episode 1 with standard rolls with the thief and the witch and see if that unlocks something. It does seem like there's some variety in each episode after that, so there is just this high chance. Welcome back to Dicey Dungeons. It seems like we're getting a different intro on the second run, and interestingly I think she said konbaiwa, which I totally mispronounced that just now, which it would be like Japanese for welcome. Remember, if you'd like to be on the show, just write to us here at the Dungeons. Don't forget to whisper your most secret hope into the envelope. Interesting, so you don't go through that full story mode the second time you do this, which is interesting. Right, 3 damage, or do 3 damage. Okay, so if we do this, and do 3 damage there, and we split that in half, then we could do this. Nope, that wouldn't work, but we can do this, and we can do this, and in the turn the thief steals the opponent's attacks, so 3 damage here, or 3 damage or 2. Do that, then split this, that. If the min and maxes were switched between those 2 attacks, this would work out much better, but we'll be fine, certainly, as the first fight. The trick here will be to just again, manage your time pretty well. I'm also trying to figure out which side is the face of these dice. That you see the face of the thief, for instance, and then you see a 6 and a 5, so that would imply to me that it would have to be the 4 and the 2 on his face, one or the other. Let's see, we go ahead and move. But yeah, so for the thief, his eyeballs are on the 2. Right. Any even numbers from an unlucky roll. Splitting this in half would give us 2 1s. We have no evens to do a fireball with. And so we can do this and do this to get 2 more 1s. And then we'll just do that to do a massive amount of damage. I guess 2 makes some sense, since the pips on dice are often referred to as eyes. 2 health to do 2 damage versus maybe splitting this in half and just doing this and this. I only have 8 health, so I could lose right now pretty easily. Limit break. 2 damage and burn 1 dice, and then split this in half. Probably unnecessarily. There we go. So there is a limit here where you could easily die on the first floor. I leveled up at that point and got my health back, but you could die on the first floor. If you have an unlucky run, you can die in the later floors if you have an unlucky run. A lot of this is still somewhat just kind of random. Let's see. If I split this, Snake Eye Charm, turning a 6 into 2 1s is actually only useful in that one instance. The rest of the time it does just make more sense to do that. Or work towards doing the stolen action. Okay. Split that in half. And then that's going to do that. And then that one. And that one. And since we have the extra one, we'll do that. The fact that there are these events or actions that are really just giving you something to do because you can't do anything else with your cards, I think highlights an issue. There's really no reason to change how this plays. Just do that, do that, do that, and then we've got full victory if we just keep going. A lot of times in RPG games like this, though, it does really start to feel like it would just be better if you ran into an enemy and it just automatically determined whether you won or not. I'm much more of a fan of action, like real-time gameplay, instead of what we have here is turn-based gameplay. Just weaken the enemy. I guess you can move pretty fast here. But weakening an enemy doesn't seem like it's really doing anything extra. In this case, it seems like every turn I'm going to be weakened by him. Unless I could burn his dice or shock him. Okay. That can be turned into 2 1s. Lockpick minus doesn't do anything different. If I split this one in half, though, I would get a 3 that I could use. It kind of doesn't matter what I do. Oh, well, split it in half versus split it in 2. Maybe there was a difference there. Yeah. Split a dice in 2 versus split it in half. Oh, that is different, isn't it? Roll 1 1 for a 6. or get 2 3s. Or a 4 and a 2. Okay, we'll do this. And then we'll do this. And take this. I mean, no, I guess it doesn't make the most sense to do what I just did, but I guess I already did it, so we'll just do it now. Let's activate unlucky roll and win anyways. Have to pay attention all over the place. Okay. Reduce the countdown of all equipment by a certain amount. Let's go with that. That's an experiment, certainly. And then healing crystals. So we're now being put in a weird situation where we could reduce the countdown of potentially 2 equipment if we had 2 equipment. But at the moment we don't. Having 1 attack and so many assistive things is not going to help us in the long run, for sure. Alright, we need a 1 to deal 5 damage and freeze 2 dice. Is there a way to get to a 1? Well, the easiest way would be to do this. Then do this. Then we can split dice into this way, which I guess is better. Right now we don't need to recover any health, so we could do that. We could do that. And then doing this very possibly is not going to do anything for us, unless it reduces the countdown of the actions in the next turn. Yeah, it didn't reduce the countdown at all. Guess we need a 4. Can't do that. So, yeah, 1, 2, 3, and take maybe 1 health. Sure, we'll take 1 health and end the turn. Now he just did Hall of Mirrors, which is going to give him +1 dice for the rest of this game, which that could be an issue. Split dice in 2. Okay. Do this, this, and we'll just take another 1 here. 2 spells definitely opens up a room of a lot of danger. 4 extra 1s. Let's go and split this in half. I don't think splitting a thing on fire would do anything for us. And yeah, we'll just heal 1 more. Trying to be as balanced as it would make sense to be. 7 poison. That is a massive amount of poison. And that did just activate our unlucky roll again. Okay. Do we have a 2? Deal 5 damage, burn 2 dice. Yes. So should we use that? If I did the 2 here, I'd be fine to then do this with this, with this, and with this. Stupendous, delightful. I look forward to fighting you more times in our eternity together. Feels like these guys talk to you the first time you see them and interact with them, or the first time you defeat them. Okay. Duplicated dice is a worse version of what we have. Leather armor is a better version of what we have. Yeah, I just have too many greens anyways, so getting something that's not a green makes a lot of sense. And I guess the move is to go up and get a new item first, and then get the other item, and then upgrade when we've cleared the entire level. We're just gonna have to be careful about not dying before that happens. Alright. We could do 3 damage with anything, so if we split this in half, we can do that. Any odd number can then would do that. Do we want to heal, or do we want to take 2 damage? I'm gonna heal. And crowbar is really not doing anything different than this, so I should just do that. This sorceress character plays somewhat like the witch character that we unlocked and can play as, but not quite exactly the same. Okay. Do that. Do that. Let's see. Heal this. Do this, I guess, to get 2 1s. And then do this and that. I'm kind of burning through this game as I record the series, and I can't help but feel like my eyes are kind of glazing over a lot of the options too. Let's see. Do 1 damage and get a new dice. I guess you do that with a 1. And then I guess you do that to get 2 more 1s. So I can see this whole process just being very much on autopilot once we start just playing a lot of this. But unlike something like Binding of Isaac, where you can kind of go on autopilot and talk, there's just a lot more text and a lot more strategy you really should be implementing on this. Guess again, I just want to keep healing and keep reducing countdowns. And if I am playing the game on autopilot mentally, there is definitely that possibility of me just losing completely without paying attention to what's going on. Like, I'm at 9, they're at 22. That, to me, screams I'm in a bad position. Okay. If I spin 2 to get 2, that's probably not worth it. With her cauldron, even if I freeze both of her dice, she ends up getting a third dice. It can be of any level. Let's see. At this point, I can activate this to get 2 more, and then do 2 damage, closing the gap between 15 and 10. But yeah, we are very much on the edge here. Running out of things we can do. 1 damage, get a new dice. 2 level 2s. There. 3 to get to that point. Do that. Do that. Do that. We're tied at this point, but if she can do 9 damage in this turn, I'm screwed. We've got the unlucky roll, which could save us. Of those. They really should have done the 5 in the cauldron. Okay, can we get 8 damage with what we've got? 5, 6, 7, 8. Seems like we can. Do 2, 4, do 1 here, do that, do that, do that, do that. And we're still 2 XP short of updating. Right. And so that health is the thing that's going to really have to save us if we have a chance. Get rid of crowbar, since that's not going to be useful. There we go. Yeah, level 2 marshmallow. I'm a level 3, so maybe this will be an easier fight than the other fight. We could do a 4 damage right now and burn 1 dice. Or we could do this. And we could do this. That. 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 Odd and even attacks. He's at 23, I'm at 13. Okay. Even could be played to do 2 damage and burn 1 dice. But and see, splitting the fire one would cost 2 hearts anyway, so it's not like you can split something on fire and then that helps you. Let's see. We gotta get really lucky here. It would be interesting if they introduced like a 0 dice, but also that wouldn't really stick with the reality of what the dices were. Well, if we split this into 2, I think that is better in the long run. And then if we split this into 2. As much health as we can. I guess we just want to do as much damage as possible. Yeah. Let's see. Odd would be a 1. So it may be a case that splitting always gives you that opportunity to turn something that is even into odd. Although in this case, that did not happen. We don't have enough damage here. I'm just hoping health, freeze, and everything else would make it so he can only do like 1 damage, maybe 3 damage. We don't have any evens here, so it makes sense to just attack here with that. 6 damage and a burn. It's a lot. Split this. So now we have an odd of 3. We could do 3 and freeze. I could do 2, or I can split this and then get 1 more armor. We should be able to pull this off the next turn, and honestly I don't even have to worry too much about getting my health back up since I know it's going to be refilled. So the bigger question I guess would just be, what's the best way to... I mean, you could certainly be careful here, but getting extra armor won't probably carry over to the next turn. Okay. Health is back at this point, and so I don't want to potentially upgrade quite yet. I'm going to try and push this We're now at level 4, and we're fighting somebody that's level 3. Rock does a once per battle attack. So if I was to do this, and then take, say, this, split this in half, split that in half. If I do this and this, I would get 2 1s back. You don't need to heal at all, so... And I guess the question would be, did I just use one of his once per battle attacks? Probably not. In that I stole his move. Nope, he still has 4. Another 6, split that, split that, do that. 3 health back now, makes sense. And then we'll just keep on attacking. Just continuously doing more damage. Now that he did use one of his rocks, he has only 2 now remaining. So split the 5. Heal for 3. Let's see. Hit this, I guess. And split this for safety and win. If I had split the 5, I could have gotten a 4 and a 1, so I didn't want to run into that situation. Lantern is get 2x, the 2 dices next turn once per battle. I don't think that's worth it. Staff takes twice as much space, but I could potentially upgrade that. We have enough money here. It actually just makes sense to buy everything. That is one of the possibilities, certainly, to think about here. Mate, come on, give me a second. I'm just polishing the Rat King's crown. He's so humble for a king, isn't he? Okay. So if we upgraded the dagger, it would do an extra damage per reusable. If we upgraded the armor, we could reduce 1 damage each time. Let's see. 6s would split into 3 dice instead of 2, but it still would probably equal 3, so that's probably not worth it. A max of 4 and reduce poison with healing crystals, or a snake eye charm that would reduce its cost in half as far as a cooldown. Let's see what's in the backpack. Crowbar would get 2 uses per turn. Pea shooter would do 5 damage. 4 damage every time it counts down. Staff would take up the same amount of space, but do 8 damage. Lantern would let you double the number of dices next turn, every turn. It's really manipulative, I would say, to go with Lantern. I kind of want to experiment with that. The only other options would be to maybe just try to increase your health more. No, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna go with Lantern, and then that means I'm going to take Lantern and get rid of Snake Eye Charm. And this is very much going to be a strategy built around having a lot of dice be played. We have a level 3 here. I'm at level 4. A level 4 here, so let's start with this. Weak to fire. Okay. 3 damage, freeze the dice, which would give him an odd to do 1 damage and freeze the dice, but I think is probably the right move. Either that, or I could say give me 2 3s next turn. Well, I guess the first move is to split this in half and see what that does. And then this could be an odd number, so we'll use that for that. Split the 1s in half to give me 2 1s next turn. Do that 3 there, do that here, here, and here, and in the turn. And see how that works out for us. They'll just turn more things into 1s, which is not a problem. Split into more 1s, split into more 1s, give me 2 more 1s. Play that here. Heal 1. And attack, and in the turn. He's rolling 4 dice, but the odds of him using all 4 dice are kind of low. Right. Let's see if what happens if we get 2 whole rows of 1s. Let's get double 3s next turn. And then 1 odd number there. 1 odd number there. I guess heal 2 here. And play out everything else. Yeah, he's freezing all my dice. It just turns them all into 1s. Or most of them to 1s. Let's see. Split that in 2. Split that in 2. Heal another 3. Give me 2 2s. Give me 1 armor. Freeze the dice. So I'm effectively forcing him to run Ice Age each time while I'm helping him do it, which is then just helping me do what I'm trying to do. And the net outcome is that I'm succeeding better than he is. He's down to 4. I'm at 31. We don't want to do Ice Age here at this point. We'll just want to heal. And then I guess we could give ourselves some armor, and just see if that actually carries over to the next fight. Almost certainly it won't. Iron armor needs a 5, reduces 2 damage from each attack. Yeah, I don't think that would be something we'd want to play with. So give me 7 health. So I'll take a little bit of a risk and say no to that. And we'll take on the snowman next. Obviously weak to fire. 5 damage, freeze. Something freeze, and I'll give him a 1 if I did that. Split in half. I've got to split something else in half here. Split that. Do that. That, do that, and then do that. So he's a much more heavy hitter of a character. Well, I really want to freeze 1 dice. In this case, I don't think I kind of do. I think you're better off just doing damage this way, like that, and hope that he just rolls more even numbers. Try and split this down. Get 3 health from that. Give me 2 3s next turn. Play the odd here. Split that. $24 to $29 now. Jeez, I feel like I'm moving a lot slower. Like I feel like I just started this recording, and yet it says we've been doing this for 40 minutes. Time is gonna either start flying by, or it's gonna start really dragging on. One way or the other. I probably have just forgotten some of the stuff I was doing before. So do I want to get 2 3s next turn? Again, I think I do. Just have that constant feed of 3s to heal from. To widen the gap between my health and his health. Those again. Heal here. There we go. 9 to 21. We've got a nice wide gap this time. And I guess that's where the real strategy of playing as the thief is when to use someone else's ability and when to not. Learning what all the abilities do. Are we gonna win this turn? See, we could do 6, 7, 8, 9 right now. And it didn't seem like we got any extra armor that carried over between fights. So, yes. Win. Now the next level 4 fight we'll get into will potentially save us, but we would also have to survive that fight. Hookshot next equipment has +1 use this turn if you play a 2 in it. I don't think we have a real reason to want to buy the hookshot at the moment, so I think I'll just save up on money. And then we'll just see if we can do a deal here. Split the healing crystals into the blender. No, that's not a deal. So, yeah, neither one of those I'm gonna take. We'll just move on. Hey, it's a little dice buddy. Sorry friend, it's definitely for real time to die. I feel like there might be something that happens if you defeat the Jester multiple times. Bop does 3 damage with a 6. So, let's see. Split that. Odd. Health up. Maximum 3. Minimum 3. Nothing else can be done in the turn. He's gonna dodge the next attack, so we need to be fairly aware of what that is gonna look like. Knitting needle, interesting. Gains 1/3. Thorns. Alright, we'll split this into 2, and then we'll risk it and split this into 2. I didn't play in the right order there, I don't think, but it's not going to be that big of a deal. He's got new attacks here. This like Thorns attack. I don't even know what Thorns does. Enemy takes 1 damage if they attack this turn. 1 for each of your Thorns. Okay. So he took 1 damage, but did probably more than 1 damage to me. Split this. Back to healing here. Let's see. Split the 4 in the 2s. Split a 2 into 1s. I'm not gonna win this turn. So let's do this. Hey, and that activated my limit break, so there we can do that. We also got an achievement for 20 damage with the dagger. I don't know if that's in 1 turn. Yes, that is in with 1 turn. So 1 more achievement down. probably about 50 to go, 49 to go. If we're gonna try and get them all. There's definitely a possibility that it's not worth it to try to get all the achievements, because this could be one of those games where you just have to grind over and over again, and it would be potentially tens, if not hundreds, of extra hours. Here. Let's see, which odds do we have here? We're doing 1 for 1, that's not a bad deal. Let's see, we should be able to win this next turn. He has 6 health, I have 12. So I guess the question just comes down to healing crystals, and then just do the damage and win. Oh, something there is reducing his damage. Okay, well. So we did not win this turn because a lot of the 1 attacks are just being reduced by 1 to 0 attacks. Now his dodge is up, which means he avoids the next attack. I'm down to 6. Okay, healing crystal. To change the music, I guess. Split this. Then split this. Then do a 1 attack so he that ends his dodge. Then we can just attack here. And yeah, no reason to go any further. You know, you really remind me of me when I was a contestant. But don't get your hopes up, it all seemed to be going fine for me as well at first. So we leveled up, that gives us a full health refill. Let's see, we could get a hacksaw to split dice in 3, but at a minimal of 3. Skeleton key would settle dice to those specific numbers. Or we could upgrade equipment, and obviously the right move here is to upgrade equipment. I think there is a real argument now to upgrade the... Well, let's see, if we upgrade the iron armor, it would reduce 2 damage for each attack, versus leather armor, which would reduce 1. So there's a chance to go with that one, or just upgrade the other option would have been to upgrade the dagger. It still seems like there are only 6 floors on the level, so it's not getting more difficult that way. We have a level 4 here. We have a level 4 here. We should go with this and I think try to upgrade our weapon. Because, yeah. I think it's just a little too risky to go any other way. I still think we need to do all the fights, though. Alright, deal 9 damage, burn 2 dice. 9 damage would do 18 damage on this guy. What else does he have? Venus Flytrap. Right. well, in this case, then I'm going to give myself 2 6s, and then I'm going to split this odd to get 2 of that, split this, split this, do this, 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 and this, and then the turn. Okay. So if I do 2 6s this time, that's going to do massive damage. If I say give me 2 3s that time, do this. I could heal myself. Maybe I should heal myself. But I could also do damage. I think I'll just do damage. Alright. Start with the limit break. We don't have a 6 here. Give me a 3 copy. Heal me up by 3. Split that in 2. Go ahead and play that. Split that in 2. Go ahead and do that. And then win. Oh, I didn't realize I was that close to victory. Oh, don't feel bad, mate. I'll just weave myself back together again. I don't feel like this is the first time I've fought the Wicker Man amongst all the different characters, but maybe this is the first time I fought him with the sunglasses, or maybe it's the first time I fought him as the thief. Maybe I lost to him last time, and that was the first time I defeated him. There's nothing new here. So the move is definitely to just upgrade the damage on the dagger. Okay. This would give me 8 health, which is a little bit more. It's a little bit of overkill, but I'm gonna just do it. And then let's fight this guy. Claw, max 3. Okay. Split a 5 in half. Split another 5 in half, or could I do an odd here on the 5? And then split a 4 in half. There we go. 3 damage versus 3 plus 1 damage and poison. Yeah, do the poison. Even though he's strong against poison, which maybe means none of that is actually going to do anything. Do that. And then do everything else with this, because we didn't need to heal this turn. Okay. Curse an enemy with doubles. I mean, I could certainly do it, but I don't see a reason to do it. Split a 5 in half. Play this here. Split a 4 in half. And then I guess you could play a 2 here to get back to this. And then just play the rest of these here. Yeah, we've been going a full hour, and I don't know what slowed down the pace here, other than I'm probably getting a little sleepy, since I have just been playing this whole game in one day. But yeah. 3 damage plus damage, poison. I think you are better off doing this one. Okay. Split the 4 in half. And split this other 4 in half. And do this. Just get back to 40 for safety. Well, I could have probably just won if I had chosen not to refill my health or do something else differently, but yeah. Looks like that's going to work fairly well. Get 3 back. Do that. And then just win. And yeah, it wouldn't make a lot of sense to eat this at this point. This is a level 5, I'm a level 5. Would it be better to take on a level 5 Rat King? I'm not sure we fought this Banshee character before, but we didn't get any dialogue at the beginning. Okay. Split this. Give me 2 3s. Next turn. Give me this. Split this. I think it is worth it to probably do a 1 here. Go ahead and do a 2 here. And then do this and this. By turning one of his dice down to a 1, that'll reduce the lament attacks. Right. 2 3s. 6 damage with 1 freeze. Oh, I didn't actually get a freeze attack last time, did I? Okay. 3 here for health, a 1 here, split this, split this, and then just play as many of these as possible, and then your turn. 40 to 19, we're doing perfectly fine. That was cursed. Heal there. Odd. At this point, split this into a 1/1 because we now have +1 attack. So the more often I can do Dagger Plus, the more damage I can do. So I would just ideally like all 1s if I could have all 1s. We've been silenced, so that might work poorly. Although it may not really affect much. Let's just split that. And split that. Heal for 3 to get back to 40. And then I think we've just won. Yeah. There's no conversation there either. Lockpick. We need to consider potentially splitting things into lockpicks. It would be in replacement of either the lantern, which is upgraded, or the iron armor. Because you can't really get rid of healing crystals. I think I need to rely on that. Although, do I need to rely on it anymore? Yeah, let's do this next fight, and then we may get rid of healing crystals, because the next fight is effectively, I guess, the boss fight. So we are almost there. 5 would inflict a poison and roll a new dice, so let's do that. Now we've got a 1. Let's double that. So let's split that in half. Split that in half. Do an odd. All he has is rats. Yeah, and he can just kind of keep on doing this. He can just do it the whole time, 6 times in a row if you're not unlucky. Do I want to get 2 5s next turn? Probably not. Okay. Let's split to 6. So we're now at a 4. Split a 4. So now we've got 2. $25 to $39. Looks like we're in a good position. Part of the problem though is he could build up a collection for like a final turn that has a cooldown on its counter quite a bit. So I need to keep an eye out for that as a possibility. Do I even really need to heal? I think just out of safety, you probably want to heal. But yeah, otherwise I think we're... There you go. Yeah, I'm just gonna win at the end of this turn unless he's resistant to 1 poison. I guess he's probably resistant to being poisoned. We've got our extra dice. We've got a shop over here. Hello there, thinking of settling down in the dungeons yet? Well, I'll keep this microwave by in case you change your mind. So we could get a dodge for 3 gold. We could refill our health for 4 gold. Or we could get blight for 2 gold. I don't want to buy any of those. I can't pick up any of this health. So we're leaving quite a lot of unplayed and unused. Now the question just comes down to, next turn do we want 3s or healing crystals? I think lockpick a 3rd time, as crazy as it sounds, makes sense. Thief versus Madison, a Girl Scout. No extra item to pick up and equip. So I guess the question just comes down to, what is her strategy going to be? Is it going to have something directly to do with money? Hi Madison, I'm 12 years old and I'm here to make sure you lose. See, that's weird because I was kind of getting the feeling that this whole Dicey Dungeon was basically just hell and you weren't realizing it. So if there's a Girl Scout in hell, that creates a question, certainly. Chocolate cookie for 12 repeats the next action. Pocket knife does 3 plus 1 damage. That's not as good as dagger plus, which is reusable at the same time. Campfire does 1 damage, burns the dice, and it adds plus 1 damage each turn. So she's going to use Campfire, I think, a lot. Alright. So, move here is going to be to split things that are big into hopefully things that are small. Pick something here that is big. For that, we don't need to recover. Maybe lantern would have been a little bit more helpful there. Maybe not. Now she starts with 70. I started with 44, so there is a gap here we need to close, but we both have 5 dice rolls, and I have 6 moves. By default, she only has 3. Plus, I'm stealing her moves. So she could play like a 12 to repeat the next action. Then she can do that. And then I guess the question is, if that action got repeated, it's now up to 3 damage. Which, that's gonna be something. Certainly. Play the odd now. Split the 2s into 1s. I think that might be the best move. Split this here. Split that. Split that. And then I could hurt myself to play either one of those dice, but I really don't need to. The dice that are getting selected are kind of intriguingly picked. They're going around in such a way so you don't accidentally just tap the A button and cost yourself 2 health when you didn't intend to. Sorry, I needed to adjust myself in my chair. It's been a little longer than I was expecting. So yeah, the game is doing you a favor, certainly. Okay. I guess this time we'll split this to a 2 and 3. I'm gonna try and get that achievement, I guess, for having full health. So, yeah. Let's go and split this. 2 and 2. Split this. I'll have to maintain my health at a kind of high level, certainly, and I may not have that extra oomph to have it at maximum, particularly as she's setting herself up to do just like massive damage. Yeah, that as an idea is just out the window, now that I think about it. An even number. Campfire would not improve for me. Let's go and split this one. could do an even number to do 1 damage and burn a dice. Maybe make them decide not to use a dice. I guess that probably is better. So yeah, I'll do that. The gap is widening. Right. Yep, they didn't actually need to use the burn the dice feature. I need to rush. Need to hurry. Obviously. And I don't think 3 health is gonna save the day. Split that to a 4 and 2. Split that to a 3 and 2. Split that. Okay. Let's heal. Let's use one of these ones. I doubt I'm gonna wear her down. Although, I honestly may have won there. Like, yep. Certainly at this point though, you can see there's no way I'm gonna get 14 extra health. And there's very possibly a boss that does very little damage to you, and it's a lot easier to potentially defeat that way. Okay. Split. Split. And split. Could heal, but you know what? Let's just win. What a sneaky, underhanded victory. Magnificent. I'm not here for compliments, I'm here for prizes. Of course you are. And that means it's time to spin the wheel. Spin the wheel. If you land on a prize spot, you'll get your billion and a quick pathway out of the... Got it. Spin. Want to do a drum roll to build anticipation? Just spin it. Oh, bad luck. Looks like you missed out this time. But don't lose hope. Your time in the dungeon isn't up yet. We'll be back soon with more episodes. So that was episode 1 of The Thief, now completed. So we also completed the challenge of doing more than 20 damage in one turn with the dagger. So that unlocks the cactus. Childhood pet. I never had a pet. I guess I used to collect tiny pebbles and give them names. Secret shame. I try very hard to seem brave, but I'm really so worried about whether I'm good at fighting or not. Karaoke go-to. Well, anything by Lizzo really helps me feel more confident. Reason for entering the dungeon. I wanted to push myself to conquer my fears, and it's been okay, I guess. Yeah, I can do it. It kind of feels like we might free these other enemies from the dungeon if we win the game too, and that would be, I guess, an interesting way to wrap up the story. I don't know if it changes too much. I question also how much more game you can make around this. It's kind of not surprising that this game would have come out with like free DLC, because if they had tried to charge for extra content on this game, particularly if it's only like 6 more possible episodes, yeah, that would be a hard sell. It'd be a hard sell also to potentially make a sequel to this game. You could add twice as many enemies and the game wouldn't change that much. You could add 4 new characters with 4 new effects, and you'd have to be very creative about that. Certainly you could do like the Binding of Isaac has done and just work really hard to add a ton of items and a ton of new characters. Well, Binding of Isaac has added probably about 6 or 7 new characters compared to what was in the original version of the first instance of Binding of Isaac. But they have added probably 200 to 300 new characters and a whole bunch of new floors. Floors are not really a thing in this game to compare to. There could be different attacks, but they would be fairly limited. If it was perhaps a little bit more random when you got a specific attack, it would probably be a little bit better, in the sense that I ended up with 3 lockpicks with the thief at the end, and it really felt like that shouldn't have happened, or that should be an extreme rarity if that was going to happen. So now we could do Finders Keepers or Uptick, but actually we could have done those anyways. You have win-loss ratios for each of these doors, so there might be some kind of crazy achievement around that. Let's see. Yeah. Next episode we will try and do this one with the standard rules and one with the witch and see if that unlocks anything. If it doesn't, then we know we are just going to have to randomly move through each episode, or it won't really be random. I'll just go through each episode. I'll go through every number 2 for each character, skipping Curse of Greed since we've already tried that one and lost. And then if that doesn't unlock everything by doing episode 2 for each of these 5 characters, then we would do episode 3 of everything. And maybe episode 3 being beaten would unlock the next door. I can't highlight the next door, so I don't know what would actually unlock more episodes. But I'm also a little scared around the idea of episodes being way more difficult. Like there is definitely a possibility that episode 6 for the witch in particular, who is the most difficult character to play as that we've unlocked so far, maybe that is just like way more difficult than episode 6 for the warrior, who's supposedly the easiest character to play as. But we'll just have to get there to see. Anyways, somehow this has been an hour and 20-minute episode, but I think I blinked and blacked out about 30 minutes of it. That's going to be it for this recording. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and watch every second of my videos. If you want to friend or follow me on any social media sites, there's a whole bunch of links down below. And if you want to support me further, there's a link to Patreon, or you can friend me on Steam and get me a game off my wishlist. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.